Hello, thank you for watching today and welcome to the Be Positive Show. Lisa's going to be doing the intro today, so I'm just going to sit back and help Mr. Lloyd that's joining us today as she introduces him after she says our intro.
Good evening again. According to Robin Watson, my fabulous host this evening, I am Lisa Tanya. Welcome to the Be Positive Show, where we are broadcasting live here from the Lyve TV Status Network here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are located at 777 Cleveland Avenue, Suite 406. We hope you feel welcome and will enjoy your time here with us this evening for this brief hour of an amazing show with Dr. Lloyd Fields. Dr. Lloyd Fields is of the Share House Incorporated, which is a domestic violence provider. They offer services to women and children, a continuum of services actually, under one umbrella, and have recently, this last year, started a satellite office. If you're tuning in, you can join us through Instagram, LyveTV.status, Facebook, LyveTV.status. You can also view us on Periscope at status_network_. We're on Twitter at status_network_, Amazon, Fire Stick, and Roku. Status Network, Lyve TV, YouTube, and our own personal Facebook pages, as well as the Be Positive Show. Woo! That was a lot. They're getting us out there, so I am really proud of that. You can also call in tonight at 470-251-4343. And that was a lot. So now here we are with Dr. Field. We're going to try to make Dr. Fields feel as comfortable as possible. He informed us earlier that he was just a tad bit nervous, but he's in good hands here at the Be Positive
And
Show.
we let him know that he was in good hands. We're going to take care of him.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Share House. We're going to talk about you. First of all, you have a family.
Yes.
Now, are you from Atlanta?
No, I was born and raised in Ohio.
Oh, what part of Ohio?
Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton. So, is Share House one of the reasons why you transitioned here, or is there another reason why you came here, or?
Not at all. I mean, it was more a personal thing. We wanted to be in a more family conducive area from where we previously lived at before.
Okay. So, how long have you been with the Share House?
I've been with the Share House since November of 2009.
Okay. Do you have kids?
I have 3 grown kids.
Okay.
My oldest was just married in April.
Oh, wow.
A wonderful lady.
Well, congratulations to your
Yes.
new addition to the family.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always ask if you have kids because I always try to figure out how people that are in certain professions juggle family life opposed to their job life. But since your kids are all grown, that doesn't really affect you, right? So you and your wife pretty much...
Oh, it affects us.
It does? How so?
I mean, our family is connected.
Okay,
so,
okay.
I mean, they are still very much a part of our lives.
Okay.
They're like a family. Then we have extended family. You know, my mom lives with me, my sister lives with me, so it's a family affair.
So you're actually in the right place because we're going to explain to our viewers today what Share House is, and we're going to share with them what your role is there, and if there's anybody that's out there that needs help with, is it family violence or domestic violence? Which one is it? Is it both of them, a combination?
It's both. I mean,
both.
Domestic is, in the home.
Okay, so we won't hold on. We're gonna wait. We're gonna hold on. So, what is your title at the Share House? What do you do?
I am the outreach coordinator.
Outreach coordinator. Okay, and what does the outreach coordinator at Share House do? What's your job? What do you do?
We don't have enough time to talk about that.
Okay.
Basically, I supervise about 4 to 5 different programs at the Share House. I oversee rapid rehousing program, the transitional housing program, the legal advocacy, where they do help our clients file TPOs or restraining orders.
Okay.
Also assist with our with interns. We have interns coming in, so I'm over that too. So,
Okay.
then just a lot of other things.
Okay, that's basically in a nutshell what you kind of do. So how do you get clients? Are they clients that are from private sectors? Are they clients that come to you from the court system? How do you get clients that come to you? And are you non-located? Like, does anybody know where you guys are?
Oh yeah, I mean we have an administrative office, and then we have a shelter, a 25-bed shelter in an undisclosed area.
And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people that are watching us know that when it comes to family violence and domestic violence, those people are put in a safe house. They're put away from where people can get in contact with them that they usually have contact with, so that they're not put back in danger. So that's the reason why I asked you that, because I know of a couple of houses here that have undisclosed locations where you don't know what, if you are going looking for it, you can't find it.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, we know because we're in that arena where we can get to those
Right.
things. So, Lisa, you know me.
I wanted to talk with Mr. Fields about how did you transition, which I can see the transition, being in mental health and counseling myself, as we talked before the show. You were a social worker for over 20 years, and to now be in this position, what are the similarities or differences in you being the social worker and now you're over programs, and you're over 4 programs, so that's wearing multiple hats, as well as possibly training. So how did you make that transition?
It was really organic. Just I've been working with domestic violence victims since 2000.
Okay.
Okay, but I've in my social work career, I've worked with different populations. I've been working as a social worker since 1987. So I've worked in the schools. I worked in with juveniles, and then just transitioned on to domestic violence victims or family violence victims or intimate partner victims. And it's just been that way since 2000.
So that means that you're compassionate about what you do, as far as don't give me that look.
Yes.
I try to be. I try to be.
He has to be very
compassionate.
But to be honest with you, we always choose professions. Well, I grew up that you chose a profession that you love doing, something that you're going to be able to put your whole heart into. And it's not like that anymore, because people get jobs because of the titles. They get the jobs because of the money. They don't get the jobs because they have a heart to serve the people in the capacity of what they're doing. So that's the reason why I asked that question, because I feel like every job that I've had, I've even gotten fired for compassion from a job, because I that's who I am, and I can't help it. I can't change it. It's in my bloodline. But it's kind of hard to come in contact with a victim that has gone through something, family violence, domestic violence, your children being abused or whatever. That's a whole nother realm of that you're opening yourself up to. How do you deal with that? How do you separate yourself from being who you are as a supervisor or share house or whatever your job title is, to being just a dad or just being a husband or just being a friend? How do you separate the two?
I mean, really, I don't know how I do it. It's just, some things come to you just like, some things come to you easier than other things, I've been in the field of social work, like I said, since '87, and certain populations, I work better than others. I have an act for working better with certain populations than other populations, and the domestic violence or the family violence or population is one I just tend to work best with for some reason. It's an organic thing.
No, it's a gift.
A
Or a
and I was
gift,
gonna
if
say
you
that.
will.
Because for you to be a male, not putting certain stereotypes, but for you to be a male and to have this kind of compassion, working primarily with women and children as the victims, I would want to ask, did you yourself experience or you knew anyone that was a victim of domestic violence while you have such a passion? Or is she say that's just a gift because of your social work experience, you just chose that population?
I think it's mostly, I think it's a gift, a gifting for me. And like you said, males you don't see
Exactly.
in working with this population. I'm almost like an anomaly.
You are.
You are.
That's why I was like, when I look like, Dr. Fields, right.
So, it just worked out that way, and I'm not sure if I certainly didn't plan on working for or working with this particular population. I mean, I just didn't wake up and say, I want to work with domestic violence victims. Why?
Because it wasn't your plan.
It sure wasn't.
It was God's plan, because He knew you had the right man when He put you in the position that He put you in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, He has the plans that when we're born, He already knows what we're going to do before we even do it.
Absolutely.
So He already knew that Dr. Lord Field was going to be the person for
Our
that
feet
position.
are ordered by the Lord.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that has to be just awesome, I'm sure, for the organization as a whole, for the women that come through there to see really a male with that type of attentiveness to them and that engage. I can just only imagine the things that the children see, the women themselves can embrace and feel for to be a victim of domestic violence, and then a man more or less coming now and calling them to help them have a more productive life. And so, yes, kudos to you. I've worked with domestic violence victims myself. Years back, I was a victim of domestic violence. Lived briefly. I was talking to someone about it the other day. Lived briefly, maybe a week or two, until the school year closed. In a domestic violence shelter in Camp Hill, Alabama. I don't even think my girls recall us living in that shelter. I think they think we were just visiting some people, and I just let them think we were visiting some people.
Yes.
But I think it was at that defining moment I realized that particular relationship was over. It couldn't lead to any, because there were really women there. It was a psychological thing for me, but there were women there that were really physically abused to the point where they were some were distorted, as far as facial and arms broken. And so you think of the physical damage on top of the psychological. And so I was just blessed to know that I had a team, my co-workers and my boss rallied behind me and helped get me and my girls back to Pensacola, Florida at that time. But it was definitely an experience to remember and go through, and would have been a lot better if someone like yourself would have been there to kind of help even that organization chart a path for the women, because you don't find that. I went through all of your stuff as far as the Shear House, and it is just really a phenomenal organization tucked there away in Douglasville. So as I was looking, I was like, sister, we're gonna have to bring them on. I don't think they get enough juice. They don't. People don't know anything about them, and so I thought this was a great time for us to bring you all, because holidays too bring about domestic violence. Unfortunately, family violence is rampant. Statistics show that there's more arrests, there's more suicides, there's more everything this time of year. So to highlight your program this evening, so people can know if and when something comes up, there are organizations that are here to help assist you in moving forward and getting out of your situation.
It is. So the Share House, they have different things that they have going on. Like, say for instance, someone comes in and they're a family of domestic violence, and they have a child that's psychologically torn apart. They're not understanding what's going on. My dad's not here anymore. Me and my mom's living in a strange place. How do you break it down to explain to them? Or is that your job? Or do you let the parents tell the children why they are there? or do they just figure it out some kind of way? How do you do that?
I don't do it. We have our professionals to do that. If they go into to the say the shelter, we have case managers there to do case managing and doing assessments and all that kind of stuff. And we try to treat all of our clients tailor-made, because everybody has their own experience.
Yes.
Everybody processes it different. Some people can be, their experience could be, just hellish, but the way they process it, they make processes so much better. Oh, I'll be fine. They have a positive outlook about it. And then there's others that don't take it so well, or even worse. So it is a situation where we assess each client and take them right where they are. Okay. And everybody has, like I said, the kids respond different, but we. That's the reason why we do the proper assessments and stuff to move forward with them.
Now, I know this is going to be crazy because we never, ever hear this. And guys, do you ever get any guys that come through?
Heck yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Because I've met a couple of guys who said that they were in abusive relationships, and I couldn't fathom that in my mind because I always stereotypically think that it's always women that go through domestic violence or family violence or whatever.
There is a stereotypical thing to that,
Right?
But we live in a society, and there's all kinds of situations that go on. I know I've had experiences with some of my clients. I've had clients from all walks of life, and I'm talking about men. I've had preachers, I've had politicians, I've had police officers, I've had correction officers. I remember I had one correction officer that was like he was like every bit of 260-pound correction officer, not here. But and he came in for services.
Oh wow!
You just get people from all walks of life. It's not, it's primarily women, but you will have men in there. Yeah.
So for those that are watching that may not know what the share house is, can you kind of share with them, the viewers, what it is that you all do there at the share house? Not just per se you, but as a whole. What is the primary goal for your clients or victims that come in? What is the primary goal for them?
Well, our primary goal for our clients is get them back to their pre-victimized state, whatever that is. That could be any number of things. So, Share House is a agency that we advocate against domestic violence.
Okay.
We are advocates against domestic violence, and we advocate through assistance and services like providing legal assistance for restraining orders. We've even helped. We just acquired an attorney on staff.
Okay.
She's been with us for a little bit over a year, I want to say, and we help with divorces. We help with people or clients who are at the shelter. Once they're in the shelter, those clients, they're really considered homeless.
Okay.
So we have different services like rapid rehousing program, transitional housing program, where we help them find a new place, a new home, get them back
something
to
permanent to get them started.
Some level of permanency.
Okay.
So you all work closely with coordinated re-entry, rapid rehousing in Douglasville?
We do. There is a connection there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Carla Jordan. So
Yes,
that's right.
we do
so that's
have.
why when you say rapid
they're
rehousing.
working coordinated entry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
They're working the coordinated entry piece as we speak now. I mean, for the various social service agencies to connect and to help assist homeless people.
Yes,
That's a very powerful thing.
Yes, it is.
So is it a transitional thing? Are they there? Okay, so I know you don't work at the shelter. You work at the
I work
administrative.
on the administrative.
Okay,
office,
so it's two different entities. It's all the same umbrella, but it's two different entities. So when someone comes in as a domestic violent client, do they have a certain amount of time that they're allowed to stay there at the shelter? Do they graduate out of the shelter, or is it like you said, that's also on a one-on-one basis? Everybody's cases is different.
Everybody's case is different, but we do have a protocol where it's a 60 to 90 day stay, and in that time, the agency is trying to help them get back on their own as quick as possible.
Okay.
On the other side, when you talk about the administrative side or the outreach side, a lot of people, a lot of our clients, that experience domestic violence or intimate partner violence or all of that, they may not need a shelter. They may not need to leave their home, but they need a restraining order.
Okay.
And so we'll help them with a restraining order to help them separate from the abuser.
Okay.
The other services that we have include groups. We have support groups for our clients that talk about domestic violence one-on-one too, because a lot of people who are in the throes of domestic violence, they don't know that they're in domestic violence.
Exactly.
So you have to educate them.
Exactly.
So we have a support group like that, and then we have a support group that teaches life skills and all the things that are necessary to help the client get back to
move forward.
That is just awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you say divorce, hypothetically, how would you assist a client? Say someone came from another state running and domestic violence. They were introduced to your program or your organization. I guess restraining order probably wouldn't be necessary. I don't know if they're from another state. Would your organization be able to help someone from someplace else with a divorce, or will they have to be referred to an agency?
Again, it's case by case.
Okay.
It's if there's the first thing I would say to that is let me talk with that client. Let's do an assessment first, and then we can go forward, because there's so many avenues to go.
Okay.
Everybody has their own particular situation.
Okay.
It can be as simple as getting a divorce, and that divorce may be easy to accomplish, but we leave that to our attorney. I'm not a lawyer, so.
Yeah. So to piggyback off of what Lisa said, I know you're located in Douglasville, and that's Douglas County. So if someone comes from out of town, do you guys accept them, or do they have to live in that county in order to be serviced?
We, again, case by case, but
Okay.
yeah, we have the capacity to accept them if need.
Okay.
If need be.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
It is, because most of the times when you have a nonprofit, you try to stay in the general region where you are, and you try to cater to those people, because that's the reason why you bought the nonprofit there, in order to help the people that are in that surrounding community. So it's pretty good that you all accept people that are not just there in Douglasville.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty good.
Again, in a domestic violence situation, people, they're people. They'll do anything to get to a safe place. So sometimes that may mean going.
Exactly.
From state to state, or going from county to county,
That's
just to
gotta be
get
an
away
awful
from the
life,
abuser.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it
Just
is.
running, it's
But
like running for your life. You
You
know?
are running for your life, because
Yeah.
even that night, and that's how it was when I went to the shelter myself. It was like, okay, are you saying I have to leave? And I'm thinking to myself, you're actually saying that I have to leave. And the police actually told me, the reason I had to leave, being the woman, I had no family there. They could not protect me. That was basically what they were saying. So they themselves, the police of that community, they found the facility. I was terrified to be leaving my house to go to a shelter, which the guy had cut. Family I could have went with, but again, because he was in the state he was, they could not offer me the protection. So that was the best place for me and my girls at the time.
And it's much easier when you're in a domestic violence or family violence situation and you're alone. But when you have babies, you got to drag along with you. It takes it to a whole nother level because you're thinking about them. You're not even, at that point, you're really not even thinking about your welfare. You're more so thinking about theirs.
And that's why I think I didn't want, I know that's why I didn't want to go. I was thinking of the psychological trauma that what effect it would have on them. And although they say to this day they don't really remember it, they don't recall it, I often question that,
But that's a good thing.
Do you, and I do, I thank God every day that you have no recollection of it, because it was psychologically rough for me, and I was in my 20s, early 20s, maybe probably 24 to 25 or somewhere in there. So it was a dark, different time, because as he said, the psychology part of it, I was too educated and too, so we put ourselves in these spaces, not me, a victim of domestic violence. So it was, I had to definitely go at the different little chunks, how it happened, why, how did I end up here. But I was one of the ones, as he said, fortunate, was able to shake it and say, okay, this is temporary. They're offering me this. I'm going to do this for 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, they're going to help me transition back home, which I really didn't want to go back home, but I knew that was the best place for me. So I took the assistance and went back home, and I just moved forward from there.
Well, thank God for grace and mercy, because that means that you had it with you, and you made it look effortless to your children, because they don't even remember it. So that's a good thing. That means that's something that they don't have to deal with all the other crazy stuff that's going on. They don't have to deal with that.
And as
so
he said,
I commend you as a mother for doing a great job for doing that.
Because as he said, I think when the women come, you are in that space, and as he said, that's where some of the ones that's probably, okay, I've gotten out, so the kids are here, what do I do? You can't let them see you crumble. So those are probably his better successes, the ones that come because they've had to, because they're concerned about, now I've got to remove my kids from this situation, and so now help is here and we can all move forward. And with that, their organization being in place for I think over 28 years or something, it was saying, and the founder the founder was domestic violence or something.
She's
I wrote
a domestic violence advocate now. Maybe she's retired, but she's been around, and I mean she was a stalwart for sure.
Oh wow, that's pretty amazing.
She was founded. She was the domestic violence survivor. The founder.
I believe she was. I believe she was.
Yeah.
Okay. I know her, but I don't know. I don't remember her whole story.
Wow.
I thought that was awesome.
I just what's your what is your educational background? I don't think we asked you that.
I graduated out of Bowling Green State University in Ohio with a BA degree in sociology. When I went to when I lived in Miami, I got my master's degree, and later on I got my doctorate in ministry.
So, in what?
In ministry.
Oh,
Ministry.
wow.
And you know why we didn't talk about that? Because he said it was boring. That's why we didn't talk about him and his commas, periods, and dots.
Oh, wow.
He said
So,
it was
Dr.
boring.
What do you attend church here in Douglasville, or where do you attend church?
Word of Faith.
Oh, wow. That's what, okay. All right. I'm going to have to come over there and visit you. You have to come visit me, too.
Okay.
I thought I would save that for you so he could tell you that he had a PhD in ministry.
Of course, you know I was going to get to that, right?
Yes. But he didn't care. That's why we didn't go there, because he definitely said that sitting on the little sofa earlier. He was like, I said, you're going to talk about you. He said, but we don't have to.
That's boring.
Yes, that's boring. But he's not a boring guy. He's really just amazing and awesome. Mrs. Smith, if you're watching, I know you're proud of him and going to have so many wonderful kudos for him tomorrow, including maybe a breakfast sandwich.
Wow, Lisa's putting in the plug for you, Doctor.
Really, for sure.
Yes.
You know, I kind of like that doc. Why'd you call him Dr. Phil?
Dr. Fields.
Like Dr. Fields, like Fields, Fields, not like the Dr. Phil, PHI. Okay, all right. So
People do that
he's
sometimes.
okay. So he's his own doctor, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fields.
Dr. Fields.
That sounds like has a good
Lord
ring
Fields.
to it.
Yeah.
That's a good ring.
Thank you.
But we got to get you out of this bashful state of mind in the front of the camera, which is not that bad, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, I told you we'll help you. So, what is next for Share House? Do Share House host events? Do they just basically take care of their own inside of domestic violence and they stay in that realm? Is it anything else that they do besides just be the Share House?
Well, I mean, we try not to go too far outside of that realm because that's what we do. But we opened. We just had a grand opening for our new youth center.
Oh, wow.
And it's exclusively for our clients, at least right now. It's, for our clients, at the shelter.
That's
because
awesome.
the
Oh, that's
youth,
pretty
amazing.
they need to have somewhere to kind of like hang out and be themselves. Because shelter is as well as we tried to make shelter feel like home, and we have a director
It's
there
definitely not
that's
home.
really that's her heart. Marie Washington. And I know if you're listening, Marie, I just put in the plug. Okay.
Hi, Marie, if you're watching.
We thought, Miss Smith thought that having a youth center for our youth to get away from the shelter. And it's beautiful. I wish I had thought about bringing some pictures or something.
Oh, you could have sent them and we could have put them on
put them
there.
on there. Well,
But
I'll
when you
probably
come
do that.
back, you can do that.
Right.
Okay,
When you
I'll-
come
All
back.
right.
No problem.
And congratulations to the Share House for that new addition to them. Because I can imagine those little kids probably have a lot of issues. They
Absolutely.
they probably don't want to be with their peers. They don't want nobody to know that they're hid away in a
Exactly.
shelter from
Absolutely.
family violence. So I know them at that age could be really detrimental to them
Absolutely.
and their minds, their healths, and all alone. And then you can't live a normal life. Because what if you're running from state to state from someone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the kids do, in research that I was doing, been preparing for the show, kids do, and families, in the hundreds of thousands, they say sometime weeks and months, or influx in cities and different places, just running and moving. And so, almost like a witness protection. They're all changing identities, changing jobs. And so it is something that I was really glad this evening to be able to bring to the forefront, especially this time of the year, going into the holidays again. Things happen. Unfortunately, family violence is one of it during the holidays. So to have you all here to talk about the services in the area here in Douglasville, Georgia, where assistance is available for someone out there that may be struggling with some abuse, some family issues, and just need some support. Reach out to Dr. Fields at Share House Inc., located in Douglasville, Georgia, for any assistance and help that you may need.
And they also have a crisis number if you guys are or someone that's viewing us that's right now that's in a crisis and you need someone to talk to. The crisis lines, is it 24 hours or
24/7.
24/7.
365 days a year.
And that number is 770-489-7513. So they don't have to know who you are. You don't have to tell them who you are.
Exactly.
But if you need help, please don't just sit back and not do anything. Call them, talk to somebody. I'm sure it won't be Dr. Phil, but I'm sure they would direct you in the right way that you should go and who you need to talk to get the help or the services that you need.
Yes.
Can you share with them the contact information in case we do have some viewers that the crisis line is not something that they need? Maybe they need help with a restraining order. Maybe they need help with divorce papers. But now listen, this is basically not a community thing where if you need help with a divorce. This is basically for people who are going through family violence. that domestic violence, something of that nature. So don't
Absolutely.
go calling, trying to get help with a divorce with something because you want a divorce. Now, that's not what this is for.
That's true.
So can you kind of explain to them or give them the contact information on how to contact them?
Well, you can contact us at our administrative office number, which is 770-949-0626. Again, 770-949-0626. And all you have to do is express what kind of services you're in need of. So we can go from there.
Do y'all have court order domestic violence cases where people have to go through the court to do certain things and you guys step in to kind of help lead them and guide them?
I mean, but that's really what a restraining order is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
if you come in, I mean, you call and say, hey, I need a restraining order against my husband. My husband's bad at me or whatever. And you know, they'll come in and we'll help them go through the process of filing the restraining order. And then if it's warranted, we do have our legal advocates that'll hold your hand to court. And if it's something that's of a higher level, then you know that's when our attorney gets into play with that.
Okay, so they can't just come in and say, "Hey, I've been in a domestic violence case and I need a restraining order." They can't just come to you like that. They got to have proof that they have had some kind of interaction that was not agreeable to them in order to do that, right? You guys don't just take somebody's word that's going to come in and say.
Well, we do do an assessment.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
and from what they say and our research, you know, we'll determine whether it is something that warrants a restraining order.
Okay.
And with that restraining order, I wanted to ask: is that where you your assessment process would that entail them actually at that time where they may be able to now move? You would suggest they move into your transitional housing based on the complaint of the restraining order, or how does that work?
Again, it's a protocol to this. You know, if you are in such danger that you need to leave your home and you need someplace else to stay, and say you don't have relatives or friends to move in with, then you know the shelter is an alternative. Okay. So and the thing about Share House and our protocol is number one is we're all about safety.
Okay.
So you know, you can say, hey, I need a restraining order, but you know, but that client may be in such imminent danger that first things first, we need to get you into a place of safety first.
Okay.
You know, we do help. We do assist our clients with safety plans. The safety plan is one of the most important tools when it comes to safety for a domestic violence victim or survivor. We like to call them survivors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So and so after we do an assessment and find out, you know, what their needs really are, and we call what we call a lethality assessment. You know, we determine, you know, how dangerous is the situation, and then we'll help them with a a safety plan.
Okay.
A safety plan that's designed for them.
Okay.
And then from there, you know, you deal with the restraining orders and going to court. And even in with the use of the restraining order is tailor made to that client.
Okay.
Okay, to their situation. You know, some clients they may not have kids, and so the restraining order is written up a little different. Okay, if you have kids, it's written up a little different. You know,
that's just like a divorce decree.
Right. Like that. You know, there's a lot of cars and possessions can be involved in the whole thing. So it's really it's tailor made to that client, with whatever their situation is.
Okay. It's 6:39, so we're gonna wrap it up. But I just have one more question. My one. My one question that I have, I think it's one question, but my questioning always leads to another question. But whenever people come to you all and they have children that are in school, and they're running from a crazy dad or a crazy mom, what may sometimes be the instance, how do you get those kids enrolled in school where the parents won't know who they are or why they are there? That's kind of hard, right?
We specialize in that, and we network with the school system.
They have a school,
Okay,
right?
okay.
They have schools.
So if our client comes into the shelter from a different, let's say from a different city, but they're going to be there for the next 60 to 90 days. We work with the school system to get that kid into school, because that's one of our requirements. Since we are a certified shelter, certified by the state, we have the state has certain requirements for us, and one of them is make sure the kids are getting to school.
Safety's first, right?
Safety's first.
Okay.
So let me just say this. While Robin is wrapping up, she has some things she's going to be doing. Let me just, Lisa Tanya, give a quick shout out to our viewers this evening. I would like to say hello to Tyrone McIntyre that says this is a nice topic about domestic violence. Hello to Sandra Johnson, says a wealth of information that is needed to hear. Thank you. And hey, Dr. Lloyd Fields. Hello to Darius Paget. A lot of information. That's my nephew watching from DC. Hello, Darius. Thomas Hughes is watching. That is my everyday blessing. Hi, honey. Brother Michael Neal Shabazz. I was with them, and that's just really how I started with his wife. She's now his current wife. They invited me to a sister circle, sisterhood, and so we were on Saturdays, and we would be live talking, and so that's really kind of who brought me in.
Yay,
so thank you, Brother Michael, for my start. And he's glad he caught it live. And of course, my friend Tina Patterson is watching from Mobile, Alabama. One of my sisters, Lenore McNabb Paget, is watching from Pensacola, Florida. Jeff Schoolark, he's also, and Vita Terry. I also worked with them in networking as far as broadcast. They gave me a start. Vita was on the Reveal the Real. My niece-in-law, Shavanzo Blocker, is always watching this evening. And so with that being said, at the Be Positive Show, we wanted to take this time to just give you all just a little token of our appreciation for the things that you do in the city with the women. And so while we were going through, Robin said, well, it's Christmas time. It's almost the holidays.
It is.
So what can we do? So with that being said, Robin, if you will present him with a few gifts.
I'm not going to pull them out, but we have gift bags. All of the bags were for you. I just didn't want to say, but when the producer came in and asked, he kind of busted us. So the gifts are just really some random gifts. I'm not going to pull them out, but they're coats, scarves, hats. For basically, there is one for a little guy though. I was able to get one. So these are just some gifts that we bought. I have some more stuff that's in the car. I just didn't bring it in.
Wow.
So now I'm finna block myself.
Yes.
So all this stuff this is for you guys. We're gonna help you take it to the car.
We'll be helping him.
So we even have one bag that has stuff for infants in it. All this stuff is for infants.
Wow.
So we have diapers, diaper wipes, bottles, bibs, just a little something just to let them know that we here at the Be Positive Show was thinking about them. I'm a giver. I love giving. It does my heart good. I give till I don't have any more to give, but I just like doing it. So it's some coats, scarves, hats, gloves.
They will need it.
Yes. So we just wanted to give these thanks to you guys, and that's our way of saying thank you for coming on.
One of the viewers is asking what cities do they provide services for?
Well, we're a certified shelter for Douglas and Paulding counties, but if anybody calls from any state or wherever, we're open to try to assist them as best we can.
So did that answer your question? I don't know if that answered the viewer's question or
Yes.
not.
And so those cities that they're serving right now are in Douglasville, Georgia, in Douglas County, as well as Paulding County. But he also said, Dr. Phil said that if you are a provider or you're someone seeking services coming from a different location, just make sure you call them and they can guide you from there. Before we close, I would also like to share with you what our upcoming events were. Before I do that, I would like to thank all of the ladies from Pensacola, Florida that was able to join me this past Saturday for my first Wine, Dine, and Matters of the Wine event. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
It was really a great time talking about mental health there in the community of Pensacola, Florida. We had a great time. I met some great people. Robin was there. Other friends, Octavia Thomas, I would like to say hello to you. Tina Patterson, Tracy Brantley, Tasha Smith. It wouldn't have been possible without you ladies.
Hey, Tracy.
Yes, my
Tracy.
everyday blessing and Brother Scott. I thank you for the putting up everything and taking down. Mr. David there at the social desk, you were great. So Pensacola, Florida, ladies, I look forward to the next one, which will be February 8th. So mark your calendars. We will be back there in Pensacola, Florida with Wine, Dine, and Matters of the Mind, February 8th, 2020. And before closing, remember December 16th. Mark that on your calendar.
Yay.
We are going to have a wonderful time here at Status Network, here at the station. Our production managers and our boss has given us the green light to have us a Christmas extravaganza.
For 2 hours.
So we will be hosting a show December 16th for 2 hours from 6 p.m. Eastern Time to about 7:45 Eastern Time. With all of our past guests, having Christmas carols, a little food, catching up on the past. So you'll see Dr. Phil and Mrs. Smith. Hope you're over your cold by then because he thinks you tricked him. So we'll get to see Mrs. Smith as well in December. So if anyone here that you have a business that you would like to showcase here in the Atlanta area or any area, we are the Be Positive Show, wanting to showcase and highlight the positive things that are going on in the cities and the states around us. So give us a call, email us, or hit us up on our Facebook. And until then, be fabulous on purpose with purpose.
Hold on, I got one more thing I gotta say. Sorry. Before you take us out, producer, I just gotta thank some people that the things that I just gave to you guys for my birthday. Facebook has this little thing where you set up a fundraiser for cancer or whatever they choose for you. But I chose to go and do a fundraiser through Facebook on my own for the scarves, the hats, and the coats. Wow. And we got over $535. So I want to call these people names out that helped contribute to that so that you will know that those were not just from us here at the Be Positive Show, but they were also for some donors of ours who also contribute. And those people are, I don't know if they're watching now, but Shanita Scott Conley, she was a guest on our show. Juanita Johnson, Joyce Reese. Joyce is one of the older educators of mine. Deborah Warren, college roommate. Addison Wright Jr., Avia Johnson. Avia is in Afghanistan, and she sent something. Jack Trey. Jack is our manager here, so he did his part as well, and we want to thank him. He's always so cool and helpful. Larry Williams, everybody knows who that is, right? That's my son. Baby. He pushed us over the limit. Wow. Then we have Cortessa Hughes, Edna Johnson, Jeffrey Jones, and Gerald Gooding. And we just want to tell you guys thank you, and those gifts are not just from us at the Be Positive Show, but they're from them as well.
Thank you so very much. We very much appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. So I guess until November. Don't forget to see us November 21st on Preach the Word Network. So we're not saying that it's new now because this is going to be our third show that's going to air, right? So we're not new anymore. We've broken in, so we're good. But please don't forget to watch us there. We'll put out a flyer, or the producer there, which is pretty awesome, either Dr. Todman, will let you guys know your outlets in order to watch that show as well. So until we see you guys again on December 2nd, is it December 2nd?
December 2nd.
Oh my God, this year is going by.
December 2nd, catch us then, because it is the Diva's birthday, and you talking about all the way live at the Be Positive show on that Monday night in the studio. Me and Miss Robin is going to have us a good time that Monday.
Are.
But you all be safe and have a fabulous Thanksgiving.
And we'll see you guys then. Bye.